This is a Sea Ray 320 Sundancer coupe, and this is very much your perfect weekender or great day out on the boat. It's the kind of boat, we're seeing a lot of these now, which are really laid out to just give you a load of deck space and have a load of fun on board of. She's about 32 foot long, hence the 320. And we're going to step on here via the bathing platform. It's got this sort of soft touch decking on it, which is really nice to walk on. You'd probably less likely to have a tender on one of these, but you could have a small inflatable, I guess, on here if you wanted to. There's also a pretty big storage area in here. Like so. So I guess you could maybe get a small roll up in there, but certainly for canopies and that kind of thing, which is what we've got in there now, that is ideal. There's also, in this area, this little fella here, which is the shore power, but also the main battery switches. That's great because you step onto the boat, you can flick everything on there and you're good to go before you even got on board. Or before you even got into the, there we go, before you've even got into the cockpit. This one's got the bimini on at the moment. Those canopies that we saw enclose all of this area. There's a zip, you can see it just here. There we go. So they zip onto there all the way around, and this all then becomes part of the inside of the boat, or have a bimini as we've got it at the moment, or take all that black part off and have this completely open if you wish. There's a very nice seating area around here, really sociable because it goes right the way around. I'll show you in a moment, but that backrest moves as well. And this table will drop. It's on a telescopic leg. There's cushions that go on there. So if you want that as a big sunbathing area, you've got it, but you don't really need it because there's a great sunbathing area further forward. This has got the electric hob. You can have gas if you prefer, if you want to be able to use that when you're out at sea. That will just run off the shore power. Or you can have the sort of barbecue type thing there if you want to. Little sink in there as well. And then there's a fridge down underneath. Nice little seat here for Maggie the Baggy. And then we go into here. This one is the one I mentioned that slides, so you can move that the other way and sit around that way if you want to, or when you're underway you'd bring it back, and then you've got obviously forward facing seating next to the helm. The helm itself is over here. We've got the twin Simrad screens on this one. It's got the Fusion Hi-Fi, obviously all the buttons for lighting and anchor and all that kind of stuff. Same over here, pumps, anchor winch and so forth. Trim tabs on here as well. This is an interesting one. This is the vent here. I don't think you can see that corner. There you go. So a bit of extra through flow of air brings it in, helps keep you cool. Throttle controls are here. Twin engines on this one, as you can see. The VHF radio is down there as well. The other thing that you've got here is a sliding roof, and they've kept this really simple because all you do is unclip this little fella here. That actually will go right back up and clip in place, and then that slides back like that, nice and easy. And then once it's back, that one just locks it, so it's not obviously flying around when you're out at sea. Very, very simple, isn't going to go wrong. You'll notice a very pale material on there. What you can have is a cover that goes over the top of that, so in the winter you can protect that. I like the lighting that they've put in all the way around here. That's very funky, especially in that colour. It's a bit Miami Vice, isn't it? And you can see it as well in places like this down here. So they've illuminated down underneath there. It's all very nice. At night it must look fantastic. Even, I was going to say the cup holders are illuminated, but I think it's actually reflecting off of there. Anyway, if we head on forward, this all closes up if you want it to when you're out at sea. So you can pull that and bring that across, and then there's a door here that infills that like so. But if you have that open, what it gives you is a really nice walkthrough up here onto the bow, and you still feel like you're in the boat. You're not onto a foredeck. And then this is your main sunbathing area. It's a wonderful place to relax, isn't it? You've got these comfy seats across here. You can adjust these. You can see we've got some lifted up like that as a sort of knee support, or you can have them flat. That's why they have these little fellas here, so you can lift them and adjust them. Got little armrests in there as well. That's all very nice. And this is a cover that goes over. People say, what do you do when it rains? Well, you just put the cover down over them. If we come right up to the bow then, we've got the anchor on the bow as you'd expect, and then the winch and the control and so forth are all in there. Thusly, quite squared off at the front as well. Obviously underneath that you've got the V of the hull, but they've squared at the deck so that you've got this nice walkway rather than having a really sort of narrow point at the front. and that helps to give you this great space across here. And you can see there how that sliding section comes across and the door, and it infills all of that. Okay, if we head on back, we've got stereo speakers up here as well, and these again all illuminated down underneath. If I put my hand in there, you can probably see. There we go. Okay, let's head on back because we've got the interior to show you yet, and that is down here, sliding door here. There's just a little catch there, so we can release that and pull that across, obviously, when you're leaving the boat or at night if you want to secure that. But that's a real, again, nice and simple way of making sure that doesn't go anywhere. And then if we come down here, you've got quite a nice cabin area. So it's standing headroom as we come down here, but then it drops because that's the backrest of those seats that we saw on the outside, and then that's the bases going across there. So down here it's not standing headroom, but you don't need it because you sat down. This table, as you probably gathered, this infill means that you can drop that table down and make that into a sleeping area, or you can just fold that up and put that away somewhere, and you've got the table underneath, and that will also fold. So if you want that a bit smaller, you can do, or you can have it out for dining or for dropping and making a bed with. Let's pop that back on there. There's nice hull windows in here as well, and when you're sat down, they're at just the right height. If I sit over here, there we go, you've got a view straight out, which is lovely. What else have we got? I'm going to show you this, because this is the electrics panel. Again, all nicely lit up here, and you've got shore power, and you've got the 12-volt systems here. So it's the distribution panels. You can switch water pumps on, and head system, and all that is all switched from there. And also, Fusion Hi-Fi is here, and there's a little power socket there as well. There we go. Let's head on back a bit further, because over here is a galley area. So there's a fridge and there's a microwave, just to give you a bit more cooking facility, and then down here these slide to give you access into these lockers. And if we come right on round, then you've actually got 2 single beds in here. You can make this into a double. You see this little fella here, if we pull that, the whole thing slides out, and that backrest drops into there, like so. We do the same with the other side. Huge, great big double bed, and that infill cushion there is the one for that table that we saw in the cockpit. So I think you can make that into sunbathing if you wish to. And then the last thing to show you in here is the toilet. That's here, and in here we've just got obviously the basin. The loo itself is there, and then there's a shower that goes on here. I don't know where that is. Yes, I do. It's here. There we are. Fantastic bit of storage in here. Waving the mirror, just here. Okay, last thing to talk about is engines. So if we head back, lift bolsters here for the helm, and then there's a button just here that says hatch, and if we push it up, there we go. And in here, as you can probably work out for yourself, a pair of 6.2 litre, 300 horsepower V8 Mercury petrol engines. They're going to give the boat close to 40 knots. I think it's about 38, and then cruising there for, well, this sort of boat probably cruise at anything between 20 and 25 knots. That sort of area is very comfortable and economical. Cruise faster if you want to. I mean, with 38 knot top end, you could cruise at 30 if you wanted. And then your range on this, you're probably looking at about 170, 180 miles at cruising speed, somewhere around that sort of area. But that's a pretty decent engine room. Plenty of battery capacity as well. Look at that. That is remarkable. Very nice indeed. And that, my dear friends, I think is about the size of that. Let's wind that one back down. Let's find the button again. Here we go. There we go. Okay, and then we will finish off, I think, up here at the bow. because it did look particularly comfortable. So, yes, let's give this a go. Ah, yes, that's very, very nice. So all that remains for me is to say huge thanks to boats.co.uk. They organised this tour. See if you can guess their web address. And huge thanks, of course, to you all for watching. We will catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.